how I manifested a multi-million dollar property portfolio in my 20s and how I reached the top 1% of business earners within less than 24 months. The reason why I can provide this is because I have achieved a far greater level of financial success than most of my peers my age. And also because I'm a natural born manifester. For those of you who know human design, I sit in the 9% of categories where this is my forte, my skill set, that I'm born and designed to do this in this world. And I'm just so fucking passionate about it. So the way to attract what you want is simply by visualization. This is critical. But this visualization, you have to trick your brain into believing that that thing is possible and that you can physically see it happening. So what you need to trick your brain into seeing is that it's not a belief that you will achieve that thing, it's a knowing. There's a difference because belief has a little bit of hope attached to it. Whereas a knowing is like certainty that that's your future and that's got to happen. But it also has to be something that you can convince your brain is achievable. So it has to be small, minute steps. And something that I like to do, because I'm also quite an analytical person, is I like to throw in a little bit of a realistic problem in there. But not a problem that's going to hurt you or anything. That's just going to be a little bit of a growth lesson, right? So I'll now give you an example. So one of the first goals I wanted to reach in my 20s was I wanted to reach the top 1% of property investors. I just wanted to reach this so it was proof enough that I had been successful enough to help people with this sort of stuff. So one of the first things I had to do was get out of bad debt. I had this really horrible car loan. So in my early 20s, I imagined that I was trying to call the call center to pay off my car loan. So what I imagined was I was calling the call center, but the pain or the problem I was going through was that I was on hold for 3 hours just to get through to them. And I was getting passed around just to try and pay off a bloody debt and close it down. So I had visualized myself physically making the call to the call center and having those problems. Because as an analytical person, maybe it's a limiting belief system, but I don't believe that every single thing's going to go smoothly. So I believed that that was possible. So it went from belief to a knowing that that was just going to be my future, that I was going to make that call and it was going to get paid off my bad debt. Now, after I bought my first property, because I knew how to work out how to do that, I was then right, I can do that once, I've got to work out how to do it 5 times. I believed within myself that it was possible to achieve that, to do it another 5 times if I'd done it once. So my visualization at this point was me physically making a post to my social media to say, we've fucking done it, we've bought our 5th property. So what I'd manifested in this scenario was that people were judging me on forums and questioning whether or not I had achieved it or if that was even possible. I also wanted to attract that because it is a good growth learning journey as well. To learn to not give a fuck about other people's opinion and also not be reactive as well. Another thing that I did when I got to my first property is I created email folders for property number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I created a draft email folder for the future properties I'd not yet purchased. And I titled them property number 3, 4, 5, etc. And then I had visualized me dragging emails for that related property into that folder. So it might seem silly, but this is exactly how you manifest stuff, is the visualization. But the realistic of what your brain could be hypnotized into believing that it is now a knowing of it being your future. You're basically creating your crystal ball. You could do these sort of things with the ideal relationship or somebody you want to look for. You start visualizing how they react or respond to a question to you on a date, for example. Can your brain believe that it's possible for you to go on a date? This might even sound funny, but talk to yourself as if you're speaking to somebody else, pretending that you're on that date with that person they're responding to and you're responding back. And you've played that scene over and over again to the point where your brain's like, that's my future, that's gonna happen. Then guess what needs to happen? You need to take action. Then what you'll notice quite naturally is you'll naturally just start doing the tasks or the action items required in order to start building up to that. For example, you might want to book in a call with my friend Sarah, who is a relationship dating coach. She teaches men how to get dates and go on dates. Or for example, with the paying down the bad car debt loan, you might actually get out a pen and paper and start working out your numbers and how much you can save. And then you set up another bank account to put the money away, X, Y, and Z. Or maybe your dream is to build a property portfolio. So the first step to take, be clicking on the link in my bio to book in a free 15-minute call with me. And then you could visualize receiving the appointment in your calendar. And then visualize asking your boss for a 30-minute break so you can have a call with me. So that's how I manifest basically anything I want. So leave a comment below if this is helpful.